My name is Chris Davis, and hopefully today I can help you shoot a free throw. The first thing we're going to look at is your stance. Your stance during a free throw should be one of the first things you focus on while performing the task. You should have your feet shoulder width apart, slightly staggered, with your dominant foot front and centered on the line so that it is in line with the basket. By doing this, you'll be able to maintain balance and have more control over your shot. Whereas if you're leaning one way or the other, it's going to show in the end result and you're probably going to miss. If you're going to lean anyway, it should be forward because you always want your momentum to be forward. Truthfully, you can't shoot the free throw at a consistent rate without a respectable and reliable balance. If you're wobbling all over the place, you'll end up actually trying too hard to aim your shot, which is the last thing you want. Every attempt should be as close to a copy as your last as possible. Your body must get into the same habits of balance, so take your time to settle and get into the correct position. The next part we're going to talk about is your hand placement on the ball. Although this can vary depending on what's comfortable for you, and a lot of people have different shots, and sometimes it works for them, sometimes it doesn't. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. However, if you're just beginning, you should make sure that your dominant hand is behind the ball, with the ball in between your index and middle fingers, and your opposite or your off hand should be on the side for support, which keeps the shot in line and helps you guide to where you want it to go. After you've established your basing position, the next important part to pay attention to is going to be your depth. Why is this important? Well, we all know that on free throws, you're most likely not going to jump. And any coach, player can affirm that that is proper technique to stay grounded. However, a lot of the power still comes from your legs. So it's important to bend your knees slightly, staying on the balls of your feet. Following this, once you're ready to release the shot, you'll extend your knees as if you were jumping. And at the end of the shot, you're pressing into your toes into the ground to rise up. Shot alignment is very essential to the free throw. Your free throw should almost resemble what a jump shot looks like. And because of that, the one thing any basketball coach will say is that your body should be squared up with the basket. By squaring up, it means your shoulders should be parallel with the basket. This is because just like any other sport, wherever your shoulders are facing, the ball will follow and go in that direction. Along with this, the entire dominant side of your body should be aligned with the rim. This means the following: your foot, knee, hip, elbow, and wrist all should be in one line with the rim. And then this allows for your eyes to become more focused on the line to keep your shot straight and direct rather than it shifting from side to side. Obviously, the most important part to all of this is the follow through, because in the end, you got to find a way to get that bucket. A lot of coaches have agreed on the emphasis of the follow through being using the tips of all 5 fingers rather than the palm, keeping the eyes on the hoop throughout the shot, releasing the ball using the elbow as a hinge, springing the forearm forward, and snapping the wrist to provide backspin, shooting a high arcing shot and keeping the hands up during the follow through. The wrist and finger action is probably the most important because generating that backspin allows for what we call in the basketball world as the shooter's touch, because it gives you the chance at a friendly roll. The last component that isn't really a necessity, but something useful from myself, was having my follow through finish with my hand dipping in the rim as if it was a hand in the cookie jar. And by doing this, it almost becomes natural to keep everything straight and in line so I can get the finishing point.